Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm your pilot wannabe for today's flight. We're going one more time in the Cessna 310. I say one more time because it'll probably be one more time in Flight Simulator 2020. I probably won't make it back around to the 310 until after Flight Simulator 2024 comes out, so we'll see. Anyway, we're going to do another leg of the lower 48 capitals tour, and we're going to double back and hit the capital that I missed, because I missed one. We'll talk about it in the flight plan. See you there in a minute. Okay, here we are in Sky Vector. Relatively short flight. We're going from Augusta, Maine, where we had last left off in Lake 6. I thought we were going to be going, I think, to like Boston or something next, which was really, close. I don't know. I'm a little turned around here. Plus, I'm kind of trying to squeeze this video in while I have the chance. At any rate, I thought we were going to have a real short one and go down the East Coast a bit, but I realized we skipped Vermont. We have to double back to Montpelier, Vermont. Like I said, relatively short trip, especially since I'm not going to go around this great big MOA here. In real life, I probably wouldn't even go around it. I'd probably do whatever I had to do to get clearance to go through it, because I mean it's just huge and right in the way. It would increase the flight time by 50% or something to go around it. It would be kind of silly to try to go around it. So just picked one waypoint in the middle, Wiley. We might tune in the VOR at Augusta here to ride it outbound. I don't know. We might not. I'm trying to do this fairly quickly. So I'm going to run through the whole checklist on the 310, but I'm going to run through it fast, at least as fast as I can, which probably isn't going to be terribly fast. At any rate, we're headed to Edward F. Knapp State Airport, I guess is the name of it. Yeah, now I'm getting deja vu because I have run through this whole thing before, and so now I'm feeling like, okay, well, am I remembering this from the first time that I landed there, or am I missing the fact that I already hit it in the videos? I don't know. I might double check. Hold on for just a second. Yeah, no, it was just deja vu. Yeah, we haven't been to this one. It's a 5,000 foot runway, 17 and 35. Ironically, I think we're taking off from 35 at Augusta. It's got weather. It doesn't have a control tower. 132.675. Need you guys to help me remember that again. 132.675. I don't actually need you to help me remember it. I'm writing it down. So that's for KMPV. All right, yeah, just getting deja vu because I did land here once before. It's got an elevation of 1165, so we'll figure a pattern altitude as 2100. Check the weather and all that stuff. The only thing of note is it gives turbulence for the entire area, so that should be interesting. The wind is a crosswind, between a crosswind and a headwind, so there's that. I'm gonna fly at 8,000 feet, pretending that we're on an IFR route. So I guess we'll go jump in the plane. And here we are at the plane. Okay, we're not gonna mess around talking about it. It's getting nice and dirty though. I'm leaving it to get dirty. I still really wish the Duke got dirty, because it's so realistic otherwise. Yeah, there's two additional things that would make the Duke just ultimately immersive. One of them is getting dirty the way this plane does, and the other would be a big walk around checklist like the A2A Comanche has. I think I'm gonna do I want to try to do the Comanche next. I thought I was gonna do it this time, but it was gonna be a long video if I did the Comanche, and I say that as, as if this one isn't going to be long. It's probably still gonna be longer than I want it to be, maybe longer than anyone wants it to be. I don't know. Get rid of the wheel chocks there. Oh, just of note, on the inspection page, we got a couple of things going in the yellow. We got spark plugs on the right engine, are not happy. The oil supply on the left engine, not happy. We're gonna leave that go for now. We're gonna we're gonna push our luck. We're gonna close this door though. But yeah, I want to do the Comanche next. It's just it has a very in-depth checklist and a very in-depth walk around that you can actually go around and tug on the flaps and stuff like that. And I really, really want to get into all of that when I do a video on that plane. So maybe we'll do the next leg of the lower 48 in that plane, and I can show you guys all that stuff. All of you guys that don't know anything about it anyway. Okay, I said I was going to try to run through the checklist quickly, and now I'm just sitting here yakking. Get the checklist back up on my tablet, or I'm sorry, on my Chromebook. I got it all folded backwards, so it's like a tablet. Fuel and loading I did already. Covers and all that junk I did. Parking brake I did. Wheel chocks removed. Flight controls free and correct. Sure, we'll do that. Then I got to move the tablet out of my lap to do it, or I start smacking into it. Can't see it because of the co-pilot / passenger. That would be the controls free and correct. Fuel selectors both on main. Yeah, I've been confused about the main. Okay, it considers the tip tanks to be the mains and then the wing tanks to be the auxiliaries. I think it's just because small airplanes, as a rule, have to make the fuel systems contrived. So that's why how we arrived there. Let's see. Let's make sure all the switches are off. I'm kind of guessing ahead on the checklist here. And what do we got over here? Oh, anti-collision. Oh, what was that? Pitot heat. Uh-oh. Oh crap! My control scheme. I don't know what it is with the honeycomb, but it always reverts back. Hang on. I'm gonna pause it and fix my control scheme. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, I don't know why the honeycomb. It randomly chose the Duke control scheme. No reason whatsoever for that. Anyway. Okay, so oh, circuit breakers. Yeah. Okay, all these switches are off, and circuit breakers all appear to be in. Let's see, fuel selectors, cowl flaps fully open. I did that, didn't I? It's a problem with going fast and talking at the same time. I don't remember what I did. Cowl flaps, landing gear lever down. Yeah, that's always a good one. Okay, it's down in the cockpit and down on my hardware. Mixture's full rich, propeller's full forward, throttle's 1 inch, all switches off, all circuit breakers in. There we go. Okay. And then battery and alternators on. There's alternators, there's battery. Oh, look, got some lights there. Did I leave yeah, I do have some of the panel lights on from the Cuban rescue mission. Landing gear check 3 green. Check. Warning lights pressed to test. That's right. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. These are on anyway. Uh-huh. 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 And I check the fuel at the same time as checking these two. And the warning lights for the vacuum system are lit on their own. So, alternate air controls check in. Oh yeah, fuel gauge check quantity, did that. alternate air, plunger switches here are in. Stern lights check and flaps test. Okay, we're going to do the generic follow behind camera for that. Let's give it a 1 notch of flap and another notch of flap. They seem fine. Now I'm going to turn on all of the lights. Have we got a red flashy beacon on top there? Yeah, it was hard to see in the sunlight. Yeah, we got blinky blinky, we got green, we got landing light, we got taxi light in the middle, we got landing light, we've got red, and blinky blinky. I'm not going to worry about the ice lights. Okay, that would be all of the lights working. Okay, back in the cockpit. I'm going to turn off all of the lights except for the beacon light because the next checklist will have us turning that on. Engine start, beacon light on. Propellers clear. Magnetos all on. Magnetos, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 magnetos on. Primary left engine, start button left engine, auxiliary fuel pump on. After, checking for the oil pressure. All right, so left primer, holding the brakes, left start button, checking for oil pressure, got oil pressure rise, turn the left fuel pump on low, bingo bango, and then the same for the right engine. Right primer, right start button, right oil pressure rise, right engine fuel pump on low. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the avionics because that'll be here shortly on the checklists. Repeat above and check alternators. Okay. Yep, the left alternator is charging. The right alternator is charging. We're going to set this to 8,000 feet. Might actually be a little high for the distance we're going, but c'est la vie. We'll only have to lose 6,000 feet to get into, well, just under 6,000 feet to get into a pattern altitude. That's like 12 minutes. Yeah, that 8,000 feet is almost a little high. That's okay. Okay, let's pick an arbitrary number for our squawk code since we're simulating a VFR flight. I know I said one day I would actually use the ATC in the simulator for an IFR. I'm sorry, for IFR flight, but it's not going to be today because I'm trying to hurry. Let's make it a good lucky number, 1313. 1313. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and. Oh yeah, I didn't check and make sure. Yeah, we're at 1,000. I think it's supposed to be 800 to 1,000 for idle, and we're a little over, but that's okay because I'm going to lean the mixtures for taxi, and I'm going to lean until the RPMs come down a little bit. There, the RPM needles are starting to move, so we're going to stop leaning there. I don't know if that's a legit way of doing it or not, but it's what I'm doing. Okay, raising the flaps. Okay, the before taxi is avionics on, did it, flaps up, did it, auxiliary fuel pumps both off. Yeah, it's been a couple minutes, I guess it's alright. I guess it's something to do with making sure there's not vapor lock in the engines. That's why you do the fuel pumps. Of course, you do the fuel pumps in, takeoff and landing to make sure in case something goes wrong, you're less likely to have your fuel supply to an engine interrupted if you've got the pumps on. So, transponder set and on standby, avionics set. Oh yeah, that's right. I should. You know what? We'll just do it really quick. I'll try to get in here really quick while the engine's warming up. Gotta put in. Okay, we're gonna try to use the keyboard, even though sometimes when I hit the enter button, it kills the airplane for some reason. So I need to look back at my flight plan here. We're starting from KAUG. KAUG, and now I'm gonna hold my breath while I hit the enter button. Think. Okay, I took it. Enter. And we're... Oh yeah, did that wrong. And we're going to... I'm gonna try and click in here. Going to KMPV. Mike Papa Victor. Holding my breath. Took it. And only one waypoint, so that's easy. It was Wiley, as I believe. Wiley. I wonder how they got so lucky to have the waypoint of Wiley. See, W-Y-L-I-E. L-I-E. Wiley. Forgot to hold my breath that time, but it worked out. Wiley, there we go. There's the flight plan. Bingo bango. Alright, let's pop this over there. Yeah, I like when I have the option of having both a north up and a heading up display. That's my favorite. That's my favorite way to travel, right there. Alright, we're set at 8,000 feet. Oh yeah, we should check the local barometric pressure. Oh, you know what? While I'm thinking about it, let's throw in COM2 the frequency for the weather at the destination. It's 132.675. 132.675. Oops, got carried away. 132, did I say? 132.675, yes. Okay, Swappy. Hello, Swappy. Oh, wrong Swappy. There we go. Swappy. 132.675. And we want to, oh, looks like we were already, oh, it's hard to tell when they're lit up. Now we're monitoring COM2. Okay, so what's the local barometric pressure? Automated weather. 3009. Wind 3009. And we got one over here. Things away. 3009. Wind 015 at 12. Sky condition clear. Temperature 11 Celsius. Yeah, think about that for a second, because on the when I was loading in, it was showing runway 35, but you know, the simulator doesn't always pay attention to all of the runway options. I don't know. I'm near 35. Oh, look, there's a windsock over there. 35 is oh, around about there. So I mean, that seems okay. That looks about right. That's a pretty steady wind too. Okay, sure. 35. Announce taxi. Why not? Okay, where were we? Altimeter set. Mixtures lean for taxi. Oh yeah, avionics set. Obtain ATIS weather. Altimeter set. Mixtures lean for taxi. Did all that. Lights, beacon, nav, and taxi on. Beacon, nav, taxi. Clearance obtain. I just basically did that by announcing I was going to taxi. Door check closed and locked. I did that. Yep, still latched. Parking brake release. Throttles as required. Brakes test and flight instruments. Check turn slip and heading. Okay, now I'm going to set this down. And let's see, how do we get over there? I guess we got to taxi over that way and then make a U-turn. Okay, sure. Okay, releasing the parking brake. The instruments seem to be behaving normally. Gonna try the brakes. Brakes seem to work. Let's make sure the instruments turn the other direction. And they do. Fantabulous. I'm not sure what all can really break on this plane. I don't think the individual instruments would necessarily fail, but you know what? I might be wrong because I remember when I was first flying this plane, you know, that part of the checklist where you push all the warning lights to test them. I had a warning light not working, and then I had one of the 3 green on the landing gear. One of those lights went out and wasn't working. So I mean, if individual like light bulbs like and stuff like that can go out, I imagine they have it set up to where instruments can fail. I'll just keep running the whole checklist in this plane to make sure, so there's no surprises. All right, here we are at the runway. Yeah, that was convenient. I'm gonna go ahead and set the parking brake and jump right back into the checklist real quick. I can get my Chromebook to turn on. There we go. Doesn't have much battery juice left. I'm trying to save it. All right, for run up, parking brake. Set throttles 1700 RPMs. You got it. 1700. Oh, I forgot. You know, I was gonna start doing the run up on crossfeed because that should probably be part of my checklist. Well, that was weird. The switching almost killed one. I guess that's why you're supposed to have the fuel pumps on when you switch. Whenever you switch those fuel selectors, you're supposed to have the fuel pumps on. And I didn't have them on that time, and that just goes to show why you're supposed to have them on. It almost killed an engine. Okay, 1700 RPMs. Bump the left one up a little more. Okay, 1700 RPMs. Alternators, check both. Can't see them. Let's see. Yep. Both still charging. Let's make sure the needle works. Okay. Yep, both still charging. Vacuum system check in the green. Vacuum system is right here, and it's in the green. Alternator controls, pull both and check for RPM drop. Okay. Open that alternator, no RPM change. I think there's supposed to be an RPM change. I'm not sure. Either way, nothing happened. They're both back in. Magnetos. Okay. Oh, you can see the magneto switches over here, so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I don't want to hit that crash bar and knock them all off. That would be bad. All right, I'm going to kill the left magnetos on both engines. Watch the RPMs drop a smidge. Not much. Turning the lefts back on and killing the rights. Smidge of RPM drop and back on. Propeller check down to 1200 RPMs, but in the past we've noticed we can't seem to get below 13, which is fine. I got them pulled all the way back, and we're only just a little under 13. And it's holding steady, so back forward again. Engine instruments all in the green, yes they are. We're gonna settle the JPI or whatever they are, computers here on what we believe are the hottest cylinders. Cylinder 5 on the left engine is running, yeah, 387. That's hot. Cylinder 3 on the right engine, 377. Okay, now I'm pulling the power back down because, yeah, that's hot on the engines. Actually, why don't we do the mixture full forward and do the idle test, make sure that the engines stay running. That ought to bring the temperature back down some. Okay, both engines stayed running. Bump them back up to around 1,000. Let's turn the fuel pumps both on low for takeoff and for switching back to the main tanks. Yeah, see, no stutter that time because I got the fuel pumps on. Okay, that's it for the run-up checklist. Before takeoff, fuel quantity check. Like I said before, I think they have you double check the fuel quantity to make sure you didn't spring a leak on your way to the threshold of the runway. Fuel selectors check both the main. Did that. Doors and windows closed and locked. Time to close this window. Don't want to get a black screen as soon as we lift off. Pitot heat on if below 10 degrees Celsius. We are just above 10 degrees Celsius, so you know what? I will flick the pitot heat on as we roll out because we'll probably get into colder temperatures shortly after leaving the ground. Trim's set for takeoff. Here we go, fighting with the trim again. Actually, the trim's right where I want it. I want it in the top of that because much down into the range here, and it tries to lift off too early, and I get the stall warning. It tries to take itself off. Okay, cow flaps are still full open, flaps up unless short field takeoff. Warning lights all off. That is true. Auxiliary fuel pumps on low, already did it. Lights, taxi off. And we can turn the landing on. Yeah, all others on. Strobe is on. So beacon, landing, nav, and strobe are all on. Let's see, I've still got the panel lights on, but I don't care about that right now. Transponder on altitude reporting. Bink right there. I'm going to get rid of the flashy message lights on the Garmin's. I don't like things flashing at me. Clearance obtain. Ice protection on is required. Make sure it's full retro lane for field elevation. And then the takeoff and after takeoff, throttle's full. 2,700 RPMs. Engine instruments check. Liftoff at 90 to 92 knots. After takeoff, apply brakes briefly. Landing gear retract. Once re-landing is not possible, flaps up if applicable. After 500 feet AGL, which we're at what? Around 350 feet right now. So yeah, around here, getting close to 900 would be 500 feet. Okay. After 500 feet AGL, propellers to 2,500, throttles to 24.5. Actually, I'll probably do it in the other order. Throttles to 24.5 inches and propellers to 2,500. Landing lights off. Auxiliary fuel pumps off. All right, and then we'll consult the climb checklist after that. Okay, so we seem ready. This will be the clearance. Let's see, we're departing to the west. Oh, strange hiccup in the volume there.
Papa Whiskey Bravo, taking off runway tree 5 departure to the west.
Alright, I did it. Releasing the parking brake. Looking for jokers coming in to land on top of me. Or land towards me. Excuse me, darling. Yep, seems fine. Okay. Throttling up. Alright. Features full forward, props full forward. Everything seems to be as it should be. I'm just gonna roll right into the takeoff roll. Yep, giving it the gun. Giving it some left rudder to try to stay somewhere near the middle of the runway. Oh god. Yeah, it's a little windy, it feels like. Oh god, yeah, a little windy. Oh yeah, let's leave the ground. There we go. Alright, tapping the brake. Raising the landing gear. See, I'm gonna have to make a left turn to get on course. Trying to trim the nose down a little. Let's see. Landing lights off. I'll hit the retract button if I can to retract the landing lights. Finally. Oh my god. Okay. Now backing the throttles off to 24 to 24.5. Backing the propellers off to 2,500. Rolling on the course. I would like to turn my fuel pumps off, but they're so hard to reach. Now I can get them. Left fuel pump and then counting 1,000 to 1,000. Engine stayed running, so doing the right fuel pump. That engine stayed running too. Always good news. Okay. Let's see, we're set to GPS here, so that's good. Yeah, it's a little choppy. There's a light chop, I would say. let's go ahead and hit the autopilot. Ooh. That was, not sure what the autopilot's doing. Is it even on? I don't think it even came on. I don't know what happened there. Oh, you know what? My autopilot box is not responding. Here, autopilot. There we go. Vertical speed. Let's make it 600. And let's go nav. Okay. Now I can fix my autopilot box. The only thing I have to do to fix it is unplug it and plug it back in again. So I have a USB extension cord here so that I can unplug it and plug it back in right next to me, because for whatever reason, if I shut the Xbox down, it doesn't like shut the autopilot box off, and then the next time I go to use it, it's unresponsive for some reason. I don't know, very mysterious. Anywho, let's monitor things here. Where are we at? Yeah, we're almost to 3,000 feet, so let's goose the throttles back up to 2,400. I gotta do my numbers right. I realized when I was watching my most recent video that I was talking about putting the engine, setting the power to 23 squared, and I wasn't doing that. I was putting the manifold pressure on 22 psi, not 23. I was not paying enough attention to what I was doing. But you know, I was on a rescue mission, so there's that. Okay, we're past 3,000 feet, so let's toy with the mixture a little bit. I'm gonna watch the fuel flow needles down here. I want them to be as high as they can go for the climb power. So I'm gonna, yeah, see, they're starting to go back down, so I'm gonna push the mixtures back forward again a smidge. Yeah, not gonna be terribly scientific with that on the climb. What else do I need to do? Let's see, I turn off the fuel pumps. The lights are strobe and nav and anti-collision or beacon. Oh yeah, I was gonna turn on the pitot heat because it's probably cold. Yeah, it's cold. Let's see, we got the temperature maxed out here, but I bet it's not gonna be enough. I bet we're gonna have to turn the heater on. Yeah, look at that. Cabin is cold and getting colder. All right, let's turn the heat on. And let's bring the temperature control down a smidge because with the heat on and maxed out on the temperature, it gets warm pretty fast. So put that away for now. Oh yeah, let's jump on the climb checklist to make sure there isn't something I forgot. Climb checklist, throttles up to 24.5. Oh, probably about time to push him forward again. Yep, sure is. Let's push it to 24. And then make sure we're below 2,500 on the RPMs. And can I get any more power out of the mixture? Oh, did you see that? Did you see that little wobble? Just like the mixtures ran forward for just a split second, right back again. That's what happens to the left-hand or engine one throttle sometimes. And it has caused me to crash in this plane. It was just luck of the draw, I think, that it was this plane, because this whole throttle instantly going to zero and then back again thing has happened in multiple different planes. It just happened at the worst possible moment in this plane one time. I'll tell you about it in a second. So throttle's up to 24.5, propellers 2,500, mixtures adjust to climb fuel flow range above 3,000 feet, and monitor. Cowl flaps open or as required, propellers sync manually. And I'll switch over to the cruise checklist, but we'll come back to that. Oh, how are we doing on engine temperatures? Those cylinders are still pretty hot, so I'm not going to close the cowl flaps yet. So you're at 5,000 feet. pushing the throttles forward again to 24 psi. Mixture, yeah, about the same in the mixture. Didn't really get anything. Yeah, it's a little choppy up here. A bit choppy. Yeah, the one time that I flew a real airplane where the kid let me actually start the plane and taxi it over and do the run up and actually do the takeoff and do most of the flying, I gave it back to him for the descent and the landing. The main reason I did that is because it was a choppy day. And after it was all said and done with, I felt like maybe I should have gone ahead and tried to land it, because I think he was going to let me try, because we talked a lot about the flight simulator, but I think he was going to let me try to land it. As a matter of fact, I think he seemed a little disappointed that I wanted him to land it. But I did notice that as you get close to the ground, close to landing, it did smooth out, and I had noticed that in the simulator a lot, and I didn't know how realistic that was. That once you get right near the runway, things tend to kind of get more gentle, and sure enough, in real life, it seemed that way as well. And I was feeling like maybe I could have actually done the landing, but still be. I still might take actual real flying lessons one day. So we'll see. Look at my dirty airplane. Look how dirty she is. Dirty. Let's see, the water bottle. Oh yeah, the water bottle rolled around because it's choppy. You know, probably gonna roll around and get stuck in the rudder pedals and make us crash. See, we got more leaves. We got more leaves. We got more papers. We got a coffee cup or something. We've got where someone's been doodling. Yeah, it's just getting more and more dirty. Anything back here yet? No. Of course, we don't have people back here much. Ah, there we go. There's a paper airplane. I knew there'd be a paper airplane eventually. Yeah. Yeah, paper airplane. It's just getting more and more dirty. I think eventually we'll get some paper up on. Oh yeah. See, there's another paper airplane up on the dash. So there's that. Okay, we're at well over 6,000. I bet we can put the throttles all the way forward now. Yep, that's throttles all the way forward. Can we get any more power out of the mixture? Not really. Okay, we'll leave that go. How's the engine temps looking? They're looking fine. I'm not going to close the cowl flaps yet. If I ever do, until descent, we'll see. It says we've only got 11 minutes to that waypoint that was about halfway. So yeah, we're gonna spend halfway to the waypoint on the climb or more, and then we're gonna spend halfway between the waypoint and the destination on the descent. So yeah, hopefully I can cram this all in one video. It's a lot faster to edit one video. A little mountainous up there. Yeah, one thing about SkyVector versus, you know what? I don't know now that there's someone else I watch. I mentioned him before, the Flying Dad. I forget what he uses. It's like I don't know if it's Navigraph or a little nav map, but that gives you a vertical profile of your flight plan. So it shows if the altitude you've chosen is going to run into something. And I wish SkyVector did that. SkyVector is a little more like a paper chart in that you need to be just looking at the altitudes of things you can run into that are along your route. We're almost to our altitude. Okay, as soon as we get leveled off, we're gonna go back to SkyVector and see how tall those mountains up ahead might be. I wouldn't think they would be that tall. I mean, gosh, we're east of the Rockies. Nothing gets that really high east of the Rockies. I mean, I know everybody in the Appalachians area and stuff are like, yeah, we live in the mountains, and yeah, they're mountains, but not like the Rockies. Not like the Rockies, and certainly not like like you're in Switzerland or something. So let's see, we're leveling off. I still don't know why there's an arm button on here. I mean, it's got nothing to do with nothing, here as I can tell. Make sure my box is working. Yeah, my autopilot box is working because I'm moving the heading bug over to be on our heading. There we go. Okay, so let's look at the cruise checklist real quick. Throttles between 15, anywhere from 15 to 24.5 psi. Now I had looked at a chart. I'm trying to remember what the chart said. I don't feel like trying to find it on my phone right now. I'm worried we need to be checking those mountains. So let's just wing it. All right, we're maxed on the throttles, and they look a little. Look a little offset, like the left throttle is lower than the right. Smidge, maybe. I'm gonna pull the right back just a little, back off of being pegged just a little. Okay. Now RPM. So we're at let's see, 21 on the manifold pressure. We're 21, 22. We're almost 23. See, almost 23. So let's just go ahead and square it off and make it almost 23 on the throttles, and we'll try to make it as dead on 23 as we can on the RPMs. And then we'll go lean of peak on the mixture, because that seems to be what the charts have you doing, as I recall. So we'll just go lean of peak on the mixture. Okay, pulling the mixture levers back, watching the EGT needles go up. Up and up and up. Now they're slowing down, so now I'm going to do just the left one first. Yeah, there it peaked out. Okay, so it's peaking right between those two lines. So now it's between those two lines. Now it's between those two lines. There's 50 degrees. Lean of peak, and doing the same thing on the right side now. It's kind of right on that line, so now it's right on that line, now it's right on that line. So there should be 50 degrees lean of peak, and look, that puts our fuel flow down around 70-75%. Yeah, I think the chart would have us leaning it out even further, but that's okay. All right. That's given us a ground speed of 176. I'm happy with that. 5 minutes to the waypoint. All right, so throttles, propellers, mixture. Propellers sync manually. Yeah, cowl flaps as required for engine temperature. We'll check that in a second. Auxiliary fuel pumps on low and switching fuel tanks. I don't think we're going to switch today. Fuel selectors both on main for 90 minutes or until mains are half empty. And then the last thing on the checklist is to monitor a whole bunch of stuff, which we're going to do anyway. Okay, so 332, 3319, and it looks like the engine temperatures are dropping pretty smartly. So let's go ahead and close the cowl flaps, even though I don't think they make a legitimate difference in speed, particularly on this plane. What was the other thing I was going to look at? Wow, I really don't remember. The checklist made me think of something, and now I can't remember what that was. I get distracted just that easily. Propellers, mixtures, propeller sync manual, cowl flaps, auxiliary fuel. Oh yeah, the fuel. Fuel. That's what we were going to look at. I knew there was something over here on the co-pilot side we were going to look at. Yeah, we're above half on the mains, so we're not gonna switch tanks. I doubt we're gonna get down to half before we get there. So it'll be the next time I take this plane out, and provided that I can take it out in Flight Simulator 2024, and that it carries over, that it remembers. I'm betting it's not going to. I'm betting it's going to be like starting over again, and I'm still thinking I'm not going to be able to jump into any of my add-on planes immediately when Simulator 2024 comes out. I'm betting we're going to have to wait. Anyway, so we were going to look at how tall those mountains maybe are. So let's swap over to Sky Vector real quick and see what we see. All right, so we're just on this side of the waypoint, and 6,600. Yeah, it looks like they're just 6,600. So we should be 1,400 feet over the tallest thing around here. So that's how this works, in case you were wondering. And then it starts going down pretty quick on the other side there. So 6,600. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm backwards. I thought we were going east. We're going this way. Either way though, 6,600. Right there. We're on this side of it. I'm sorry. Seems like we've been going east most of the time on this, so I got confused. And we are doubling back to get this one, so there's that. Don't want you guys to think I don't know my east from my west. I do get my left and right mixed up sometimes, but no matter what anyone says, almost everyone is likely to get their left and right mixed up on occasion. It just happens. Plus, for me, anyway, pretty much anything that is a 50-50 choice, I'll usually get wrong, you know? I mean, if you say you're going to flip a coin, and you ask me to call it, if you ask me to call it 10 times, I will be doing good if I get it right 3 times. And yeah, 50-50 is not 50-50 for me. Yeah, 50-50 is more like, yeah, 30-70, realistically for me. All right. Yeah, it is looking more like we're gonna pass right over those now, isn't it? Okay, well, since we're just cruising, I guess I should probably edit this out if I'm gonna try to fit this all into one video. So we'll go ahead and pause the recording here, and I'll catch up with you guys when we start the descent. See you there. Hi folks, we're back. I'm gonna start descending in just a minute or two. I thought I was recording, but I was not. So that means when I thought I wasn't recording, I was. So I'm gonna have a big fat file in there I'm not gonna use. Anyway, so we're gonna start descending soon because I figure at 500 feet per minute, I need just under 12 minutes of descent to get down to, 2,100 feet. It's never terribly scientific, at least not with me anyway. It's probably not as scientific as it's supposed to be, let's say la vie. I did eventually start hearing the weather for our destination here. I'll switch back to monitoring COM 2. You'll see. There we go. It says winds calm. Visibility 10. A few clouds at 2,500, which is, just above the pattern altitude. Dew point altimeter 3012. I went ahead and put 3012 on this altimeter over here, but I don't like. Oh, let's shut her up. I don't like putting it in this altimeter until we start descending, because otherwise it starts tinkering with our altitude at the moment. We don't need to do that when we're going to start descending. So let's start descending, and then we'll. I suppose I should consult the descent checklist, but we're just going to kind of wing it and then consult the checklist to make sure I got everything. So let's see, the cowl flaps are already closed, so that's good. Forget, is this the plane where you turn the fuel pumps on when you start descending? I think it is. Okay, fuel pumps both on low. Let's start descending. Okay, and I gotta hit the release the altitude button. There we go. Descending at 500 feet per minute. I'm going to bump the mixtures up ever so slightly. Bump the RPM up ever so slightly. I guess the reason I want to call them RPMs is because it's on 2 separate engines. Yeah, that's it. And pull the throttles back. We'll start at around 20 psi and see what we get. So our ground speed's 187. That is a little fast. That's okay though. All right, let's look at the descent checklist and see how I did. If I can get my Chromebook to cooperate. Wow, it's being very uncooperative all of a sudden. Oh my gosh, that's because the battery's getting low. I don't know, but oh my gosh, it does not want to listen to me. I'll flip it around and use the touchpad. Oops. Descent. Auxiliary fuel pumps both on low. Fuel selectors both on main. Yeah, they still are. Throttles as required to maintain engine temps and speed. Cowl flaps closed, or as required for engine temps. Mixture enriching gradually as altitude is lost, and altimeter set for field conditions. There you go. That's the only other thing I had to do, set the altimeter. Now I'll switch it to the landing checklist and turn it back off. Okay, set the altimeter for the barometric pressure at the field we're going. It's 3012, so 3012. Good enough. Alright, if the wind's calm, then we might as well hit runway 35. Again, we could go ahead and cross over the airport and do a tight left turn for a downwind, because I've still got this set to generically the runway heading. So we could cross over the airport, cross over the runway, make a tight left-hand turn for a downwind, and then go into base and all that and land. Yeah, I think we'll do that unless we manage to spy a windsock there that is you know, blowing in the opposite direction or something. Okay, sound like a plan? Might as well go ahead and swing the heading bug over to opposite of the runway heading. Otherwise, the descent seems to be going along smoothly. Engine temperatures are awfully low. Let's get the most EGT we can get out of the mixtures. Keep the engine temperatures up some. We don't have carb heat in this baby. Instead of carb heat, we've got cowl flaps and alternate air. So, not sure that alternate air would necessarily help, but you never know. Anyway. Okay, that all seems to be going well. Oh, so there's a bit of a mountain area in between us and the runway, which causes me to wonder if the pattern altitude, if we're going to have to wait and descend more quickly on the other side. You know what I mean? See, there's a way to get, I'm trying to remember, there's a way to get the, what do you call it? Terrain, yeah. Terrain. Let's run the terrain. About how far? We've got 22 miles to go. Nothing's popping up on the terrain map yet. Nothing yellow or red popping up yet. Just the same, we might level off when we get down to 5,000 feet, because that mountain up ahead looks a little tall, if you ask me. Yep, hard to tell. Hard to tell. 5,500. Anyway, okay, engine temps have stabilized. That's good. Speed's going up. I bet we need to pull the throttles back. As we get into the lower altitudes, air pressure increases and it causes the PSI on the throttles to increase all on their own. Let's get it back down below 20 PSI. Bump the mixture up again. Oh, no. no, it started bringing the EGT down. So I want to keep the EGT high, keep the engine temps up. Oh, I haven't checked the cabin temperature in a while. Not that I can get an exact reading, I just get an overall. Yeah, cabin is comfortable and steady. Just the same, we're getting lower, so let's lower the cabin temperature a little bit. This is probably going to start getting warmer. And stow the tablet. What do we think? I'm thinking we should level off here soon, so we don't smack into the terrain. Still not getting anything on the terrain thing on the Garmin 430. But that's looking pretty close. Let's level off at 4,500 until we get over that ridge. Sound like a plan? Okay, almost there. Oh yeah, let's hit the altitude button now. Yep, hitting it now on my physical autopilot box. I'm not sure what it's called. We're of course going to lose some speed, but I'm not really inclined to tinker with the power settings just yet because we're going to have to descend at a higher rate on the other side of this ridge anyway, because we need to lose 2,400, like at 500 feet per minute it would be like 5 minutes of descent. We're obviously not going to have that, so we're going to have to descend a bit quicker. Probably going to set it to like around 800 feet per minute, and we're going to have to back the throttles off quite a bit anyway. So yeah, we might as well let it slow down here. Oh, never did try to call the airport. They don't have a tower, so I don't think it's going to matter. Well, yeah, already heard the weather. We're gonna do, well, it shows more runways than what Sky Vector says they have, I think. It's strange. Anyway, we're gonna pick 3-5. Full stop landing. That's position. That's probably all I'm really gonna do on the ATC. Okay, we're over that ridge. Let's go ahead and resume descent. Let's just go to 600 feet per minute to start with, and then back the throttle off a little more. I'm not going to tinker with the mixture yet. Yeah, I don't know. Never cropped up on the terrain map, so I guess that's okay. Okay, 2.5 minutes. We're still at 4,000 feet. Yeah, we gotta drop a lot faster. Yeah, so hang on to your eardrums, you know. Chew some gum or something, because actually I find that if I can manage to swallow with my mouth open, which I recognize sounds kind of dirty, but yeah, when I'm when I've got unequal pressure in my inner ear, if I can manage to swallow with my mouth open, it tends to equalize the pressure. Yeah, it's a neat trick, I suppose. Anyway, how are we doing? Speed is holding pretty good. Temperatures are okay. Let's see if I can get a little more out of the EGTs. Yeah, there we go. A little richer on the mixtures. Got me a little more EGT, so that's good. Yeah, I'm thinking that if I can do the next video with the Comanche, I might do the next leg of the lower 48 with that as well. Oh, we can see the airport. Oh, so there's our runway. So there is that other runway there. I don't know, but there's our runway. Oh, look, we've got this ridge line on the other side of it. I wonder if it's genuinely supposed to be a left-hand pattern or if it's supposed to be a right-hand pattern. If I was a professional, I would check, but I'm not. So I'm not. Plus, it feels like we're getting pretty low already. Yeah, I don't have to hit the arm button. We're still above 21, so yeah, it's pretty. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and level off now and call this our pattern altitude, so we don't run into anything. All right, let's let it slow down. And we'll switch to heading mode before we trim these trees on this ridge line here. Yeah, I think right about now is good. There we go. As we get down to 158 knots indicated, we can do the first stage of flaps, which I'm going to bring the throttle down a little bit so we can get into that range. I'm going to go ahead and extend and turn on the landing lights too. I know they're supposed to be 158 also, but I don't care. Maybe it'll help slow us down. Oh, and look, you can't see the runway. It's on the other side of the of that gentle ridge there, I believe. Oh, that's the runway. Wait. Peculiar. Oh, we're down to flap range. So, okay, flaps. I'm going to top of the green on the RPMs now. I'm going to put the mixture about halfway to full rich. I'm going to open the cowl flaps. I'm doing all this kind of by memory. I'm going to swing us around on a base. The autopilot turned itself off. Okay. I guess we're taking manual control to swing us around onto a base, since the autopilot decided to become uncooperative. Okay. Extending the landing gear. See, the fuel pumps are already on. Am I going to be able to see this runway? I feel like I'm not. I bet this waypoint right here is in line with the runway, though. Okay, I went way too nose high on that. I was pulling up and giving it too much nose up trim at the same time. Oh, I might really be screwing up this landing. So where's our runway, do you think? I think it's out over that ridge over there. Okay, give it a little more power. Got another notch of flap I can do. I'm full rich in the mixture. There's our runway. Got some tall trees right at the right between us and the threshold of the runway, of course. Of course, of course. All right, what do we got going on here? Let's turn on the taxi lights too, since the landing gear's down now. All right, I'm going full on the flaps. Back on the throttle some, because we're a little high and a little fast, but it's not like we got a lot of choice. We got to be high over this terrain and the unnaturally tall trees. They're like the trees from trees on Pandora from the Avatar movies. Every trees and 150 feet tall or more. Yeah, I gotta come in really steep over all these trees and crap. This kind of sucks. I must have come in the other way last time I was here. I don't remember this sucking so bad. Okay, full on the props, full on the mixture, 3 green on the landing gear. I've pretty much cut the throttle at this point. Oh, got a little wobbly right at the end. Yeah, it was ugly before I touched the ground, and it was a little off center, but not terrible. Okay, raising the sorry, not raising the landing gear, that would be bad. Raising the flaps. Okay. Bump the throttles up to try to stay up in 1,000 RPMs. And we'll get off the runway and start doing some stuff. Alright. No, it doesn't look like we're going to have far to taxi here. Nevertheless, we will stop here and do some stuff. Alright, let's open the window. Let's turn off the heater. Let's turn off the strobe lights and the landing lights. And the fuel pumps. And put the transponder on standby. And lean the mixtures for taxi. Just until the RPM needle started moving. Alright, now let's see how I did on the checklist here. Alright, on the landing checklist, okay, we obviously did all of that anyway. After touchdown, flaps up and strobe lights off. Okay, did that so far. Still having trouble getting the Chromebook with my checklist to respond to me. Okay, after landing and shutdown. Strobe lights off, taxi on, landing off as required. Transporter on standby, pitot heat off. That's a good one, that's why we got checklist. Okay, turn the pitot heat off. Clearance obtained, we're not going to bother with clearance. Clearance. Propellers full forward, mixtures lean for taxi, throttles as required. And then the shutdown checklist. Alright, yeah, we didn't do too bad. It was just the pitot heat. I probably forgot it because I haven't been using it much lately because it's been summertime and I've been flying around in low airplanes. Well, I guess we got the whole parking lot to ourselves, so. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, I did all of the on final stuff just by memory. I didn't consult the checklist, and that's kind of what happens if you fly the same plane all the time. And I've been having a little bit of an issue with in making the videos. I'm wanting to do kind of a variety of planes. I don't really understand these lines here. We're just going to pick an interesting looking spot in the park there. Anyway, I want to make the videos interesting, and so I want to revolve the planes a little bit, except in the simulator, it's fun to fly the same plane all the time for a while because you get used to it and you know everything works and you start really kind of growing into it, and it's very satisfying. And I've been kind of missing that while I've been making the videos because I'm trying to mix up the planes some, and that's another reason I wanted to go with the 310 one more time, because as you can see, I was starting to get pretty used to it and remembering the checklist and stuff like that. So, and I say that, and this is probably the last video I'm going to make with the 310 for a while. Anywho, to the shutdown checklist. What do we got? Parking brake set, did that. Lights, everything off except beacon. Gotcha. Mixture's full rich and then throttle idled. Okay. Checking the magnetos to see if the engines stay running on idle. I'm just really taxing them now. Okay, that was the left magnetos off. Now the right magnetos off. And everything stayed running. Auxiliary fuel pumps off. I think I did that already. Yeah, that's down here. I did that already. Avionics master. Yeah, we're starting to kill it now. Mixtures cut off. Magnetos off. Let's see. Mixtures cut off. Let's throw the door open. Magnetos off. Okay, turned off all 4 magnetos. And batteries and alternators off. Okay, that's all off. Fuel selectors both off. Fuel selectors both off. Wheel chocks in place, parking brake release, and then all the engine covers. Okay, so wheel chocks. Come on, you can do it. There, wheel chocks. I'll release the parking brake. Sure, we'll go ahead and put the covers in place so I don't forget. And that is all she wrote. We're going to double check the status. Because, you know, I had those two things in the yellow. Hit the inspect button here. And they're still yellow. We'll just leave them. The plane has gotten dirty. I'll show you cleaning it. So I got a paper airplane up there. I got water bottles and, I don't know, peanut or something down there. I got leaves. I got coffee cup, crumpled up pieces of paper. I got paper airplane in the hat shelf back there. And then on the outside. Yeah, let me slow this camera down a little bit. Okay. Sorry about all the erratic movements. On the outside, she's dirty. She's a dirty girl. Look at the streaks down the engine nacelles. It's gonna be really bad underneath. Yeah, super streaky. Yep, she's a dirty girl. We're going to clean it here. Where'd I leave that? Was it services or options? Services. Yes, current dirt level. Dirty. That's what I said. Yeah, it's way up there. It only gets a little bit dirtier. Let's see how much dirtier it gets. Ugh, whoa. Let's jam it all the way dirty. What's it look like in here? Does it change much? Oh, I got stuff on my side now on the floor. Yeah, more junk. Oh yeah, look how cluttered and dirty. Cluttered and dirty. And then what's the outside look like? Honestly, can't tell. It was already pretty dirty on the outside. Oh yeah, no, look how dirty. Crazy dirty. But now we can just flip it clean, and I wonder if it still makes the little water sloshy and bubbly noise. No, it doesn't. It used to make a splashy noise. Unless I'm remembering the wrong plane. Unless there's another plane that gets dirty. Does the Comanche get dirty? I guess we'll find out when we fly it next. Now look at this, all freshly vacuumed. Very nice. Oh, nice and white on the outside. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's all white. Look at that. So clean. Clean and fresh. Ready for it to get uninstalled when I put in the new simulator. Anyway, I guess we should finish on the outside. So we got another leg down on the lower 48 capitals. We're in Vermont now. I'm not even sure where we got to go next because we had to backtrack to get this one. So I feel like we already did New Hampshire. I don't know. I'll consult it. I have it all written down. It's just I got discombobulated with one of them. All right. So, did we learn anything today? We learned you should probably come in on runway 317 if at all possible instead of 35 here, because those trees and the hills over there are a little stupid tall. I mean, I tend to come in at a high steep angle anyway, so there's that. But yeah, it would have been probably easier the other direction. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this plane. It's definitely one of my favorites in the simulator, and one I would like to own in real life if I won the lottery. But the one we pretended to buy was what was it, 325,000, something like that? Yeah, I don't have that laying around. to buy on a superfluous vehicle. So, alas, like I said, I'll try to get us in the Comanche for the next one, and we'll spend a lot of time with the pre-flight. Matter of fact, I'm already figuring it's going to be a two-part one where the first part is the walk around and pre-flight and the checklist and getting fired up, and then the second part will actually be taking off and flying to our destination and landing. That's the plan. It's probably how I should have done it with the Duke the first time, but anyway. All right, guys, I will catch you in the next one. This is Papa Whiskey Bravo signing off.